My name is Victoria. I've been tattooing for 5 years now, and now I'm currently at the Plastic Flamingo. It was honestly a whole bunch of things that kind of led me to it. It was always one of those things I knew I wanted to do, but it was that stereotypical how are you going to make it as an artist growing up. I always like, how am I going to make that into a thing, you know what I mean, to survive and shit like that. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's the art career that I'll do, because I wanted to do either like tattooing, video game design, or have a bakery. So it was like always one of those things. But my grandparents always pushed me in that direction constantly. Like my grandma took me when I was like 15. She had me gather up a whole bunch of like my favorite drawings basically, and like brought me up to a fucking local tattoo shop and had everybody pretty much like critique my stuff and like give me an insight of their lifestyle and like how it kind of worked. And I was like, oh shit, okay, that okay, this all kind of like makes sense now. Okay. And then life happened. It's hard getting an apprenticeship and then surviving, because like I have major respect for the craft, so I wasn't gonna like half-ass it getting into it. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm gonna do it the right way. So I saved up my money and tried, and yeah, I eventually got an apprenticeship, and here I am. My grandma for sure was like hands down my biggest supporter. My grandfather was as well, but my grandma, like, she was the one that really pushed me to do something with art for sure. Yeah, I was always drawing and like doing like arts and crafts and shit when I was a kid, but I didn't start taking drawings like as serious as a kid can take, you know what I mean? Until I was like 12 years old, and I started renting books from the library, like manga books from the school library, and I taught myself how to draw anime basically using them as references, and was like, I was drawing me and my friends as anime characters and like little stuff like that, which then kind of like turned into me taking that anime style that I like learned references from, and then taking it into like those like caricatures from like the fair, you know what I mean? And kind of like started getting super exaggerative with it, and it kind of went into the tattoo direction, you know what I mean? Naturally, almost in a sense. Yeah, and like my mom, she had a couple of tattoos that I've drawn. Like when I was a teenager, I drew a couple of things, and she's like, "Oh shit, I want that tattooed." She'd go and get it tattooed, and then like a couple of her friends did the same thing, and then like I was doing it like taking requests almost, you know what I mean? Like, hey, do you mind drawing this up for me? And I'm just like a 16-year-old kid, like, you know what? Why the fuck am I not just doing this at this point, you know? Yeah, so it kind of like, it's almost like my art style kind of like naturally evolved into a tattooable style on its own, that it's fucking hard and that you gotta be okay with being bad or sucking at first. I don't know, I see a lot of people get in their heads thinking that they gotta be perfect, and that leads to like them being stressed out and shit, because it's like I've learned more about certain things through my fuck ups than I have through someone teaching me or showing me something, you know what I mean? Because it's like you got to be okay with not knowing, and be open to getting to know it. Keep that in mind. They don't really think about that until they got a machine in their hand, and they're like, oh fuck. And then that causes fear, and no one wants that. So I don't know, have the confidence in being bad at first, I guess, and just being okay with that. And if you're not, fantastic, like I've got a couple good tattoos I did in the beginning too, but you don't know what you're doing off off rip, and that's okay. I had some supporters for sure, but I definitely had a lot of people that did not care for it. I take people kind of not wanting me to do something or hating on it or trying to discourage me from it, and just kind of like eat it and just use it as fuel to do it anyway, because I like proving people wrong. I'm a very, very spiteful person. And what a shame. I have this mentality of like, if life isn't throwing you some sort of obstacle or some sort of bullshit, you're probably not on the right path. You know what I mean? Just like in a video game, like when you go through, right, like when you're going through the quest and shit, you get enemies and shit thrown at you because you're going the right way. Same thing as life. And I just kind of keep that same mentality. Trying to learn the time management aspect of it, of work and outside work time, because like I'm a mom. I have a 6-year-old daughter, so and she's very high on the spectrum, so she requires a lot of time and everything. So it's hard sometimes for me to juggle booking appointments, talking to clients, trying to get them situated, and then also trying to be here and do outside life things, get everything situated. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it was a major learning curve because it felt as if I was watering one, it was like all or nothing. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know how to balance it too well. So that was something that I kind of really struggled with in the beginning, trying to like navigate honestly. But eventually I figured out a rhythm and started like schedule my time like outside of work on my days off. I have like scheduled time periods where I'm like, okay, this is the time period where I go on my phone and I start to email people back or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Like I try to keep it designated so it doesn't take over. So that was something that I really struggled with trying to learn. That I am a lot more resilient than I thought I was. It's a dog eat dog world out there, you know, in life in general, let alone in the tattoo industry. You know what I mean? So it's like if I would have given up on like the first handful of bad remarks I was given or, you know, something like that, I wouldn't be here. You can say that about me all you want, but at the end of the day, are you doing the tattoos I do? No, you're not. So who cares what you have to say? I learned to get back with my art rather than my words or like my hands. I love doing mashups. Like it's just they're just so much fun. I love doing tattoos that you're like, oh shit, that's pretty cool, you know? So I never thought I would be where I am today because it's like the things that I wish I've almost like surpassed my wishes. So it's like where I thought I would be is where I was a couple years ago in a sense. So it's like now everything past that point, it's like, wow, I'm here. That's crazy. I've already met the standard of the goal set. You know what I mean? Everything else is just a total benefit. Anything and everything, to be honest with you. I see some stupid shit on Facebook sometimes and I'm just like, I want to draw that. You know, and it'll be like a picture of like someone making a lamp out of cigarettes. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, that's art. I want to draw that somehow, you know? Yeah, because like I'll literally go around like thrift stores and random stores and like I'll take a picture of something and it's totally random and then I'll have to like put it into my notes and then put a little note in there and it's like, okay, this is what I thought about. You know, whatever, this is the idea. Don't lose this idea, draw it later. It depends on what you're getting tattooed. There's people that come in that just want that literally say, I don't know what I want, I just want something. So at that point, they don't really give a shit what I actually tattoo on them. They just want the experience. You know what I mean? But then there's people that, you know, I have to do a memorial tattoo on somebody for like a past loved one. And while, yeah, the experience and being able to kind of like talk about it and whatnot kind of gets like a good healing aspect of it for the experience, the art is very important to them as well. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit of both. It's like a whole little spectrum of it, you know what I mean? Because then there's also people that are like, you know what, I want that the art and the experience. So it's like, I don't know, it depends on the person, depends on their day too. That I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl that likes to bring art into this world. And I try my hardest where I can, how I can, and I don't know, try to give back to this world how I can and do it with as much art as I can and see that that's the goal here, you know? Make the world a little bit of a brighter place with cool tattoos. Yeah, like it I didn't get into tattooing because I wanted to be famous or be put on like magazines or Ink Master or some stupid shit. Like I got into tattooing because I got to see how happy my mom came home from getting a tattoo. And I wanted to be the person to do that, you know, or like my friends, you know, they'd come back with a tattoo and they're like super fucking excited and everything else. And it's like, damn, I want to be that person that gets you that happy and confident in yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. There's like not that there's like a power in that, but there's like a sense of, I don't know, accomplishment in there. You know, it's like, damn, I did that for you, dude. Oh yeah. You know, you're gonna remember that for your life. I'm gonna remember it for my life. I'm here. I'm here for it.